feel I'm melting in the haze. I was away for many days. I'm in a place I can't explain, where I feel free, I'm not insane. And all the thoughts are in my mind. They're flying away. They're flying away. I can feel it. I can feel it. And when I find myself alone, I just feel blind. But still can feel your silent breath. Just let
Cheers to the end of March and another wonderful Casual Friday retail trading team. This is Mastro coming to you live from Puppet Show Central with your routine briefing. Cheers. So, uh, the good news is we did not have another 40-point rally overnight. We actually had a little bit of nothingness overnight for once. I don't know what that means, Mr. Juiceball, but hey, thank you for jumping in right away into our chat. Ah, well, we all can't have great taste in music, I suppose. Any case, good news, no crazy rally before the market opened today. Bad news is the IBR. Let's check it and confirm it right now. We have an IBR of so that's at 104 minus 98. That is a 6-point IBR. So since we round, we're going to round that down to 5. And wow, that's special. Special day. And I'm sorry, Mr. Juiceball, that we didn't play the ghetto rap that I'm sure you're super fond of. But hey, we're going to jump to this briefing. We're going to see what we got going on. And we're going to see if we can't squeeze out some type of points for today. And we're going to just go ahead and jump right in. So let me go share my warm up. Excuse me. Okay. So we're just going to go ahead and fill this out. Obviously, we have the overnight inventories up, balanced. The first 30, no surprise. What do we have? Once again, nice open auction. I believe this is 4 out of 5 days this week that we have an open auction, so pretty crazy, especially given the fact that we've rallied. Let's see. Oh, just about. Oops, excuse me. Rallied, yeah, just about 100 points. And yet every day is an open auction, all the moves overnight. I will take that consideration into, or I'll take that suggestion into consideration, Mr. Juiceball. And I do agree with that. So, as someone who is trying to trade only futures, it has been I believe I'm currently dead flat on the week with commissions and everything. So, yeah, not been a profitable trading week for anybody trying to uh, play futures intra-week, if that's a term. If you have had a profitable week trading futures, you are a true trading prodigy. So, anyways, I'm going to get rid of this window because I see that popped in there. We'll keep going through the warm-up. So TPO, again, I've barely looked at this because I just kind of been waiting for something to happen. So you're kind of seeing that really nice P shape. If you're a bull, you find that nice develop where all the volume is occurring near the top end of this range. I'm going to have to call it, I think, um, neutral again. Well, excuse me, we're not really seeing that speed and aggression, are we? So we're going to have to go with, call the normal variation for now. That may change, but right now it's kind of that trend becoming consolidation, like I said, for now. And we're kind of waiting to see if that balance does migrate. So that's what we got there. You can see the expected move levels hanging out here. SPX is, I don't even know where SPX is right now, but you can kind of see those zones there. For our levels today, oops, let's get rid of this real quick. Yeah, so what happened, the reason this isn't already filled out is I guess I didn't save it, and so it was empty on my other computer, and so the way that lovely Google Drive works is um, it just goes, I guess, with the most recent. So we'll fill out again. So let's see what we got going on. So first level, we'll start with support. So that first level is going to be 62. And I'm not even going to include some of the other levels today. I think we can just stick with the most basic ones because it's looking like it's going to be what you would say is a basic day. So these will change intraday, by the way. So what I'm going to start doing with these levels is, because a lot of them have to do with value area, well, not a lot of them, three of them have to do with what I see as like the POC or POC zone, value area high, value area low. That obviously changes as the day progresses, so I'll start updating those as the day goes on. So just if you see something in the morning that changes by the afternoon, that's what's going on there as we uh, continue to break out. So yeah, I'm just gonna fill them in here as we go. So what's that about 4078? Yep, 5. And I will also bold. I'm gonna go back and bold the barb levels after the briefing, just because I don't want to waste anybody's time. I just want to kind of get some general idea of what's going on here, and then I'll go back and just fill it in. So these are kind of the three levels that stick out to me first. Like I said, as the day goes on, these will change. So that's kind of the warm-up document. It's available in the description of the video, along with all my other cute little resources if you want to check that out. And I'm going to go check out what Mr. Juiceball said here. 5-10 points on your scalping strategy, no runoffs. Yeah, it seems about right. So um, the way that I trade is I kind of look for those fake breaks or breakouts, value area high, value area low, and I'm looking for that first target to be the POC, and then that about the POC, and then that runner kind of letting it ride. In the past 2 days, we have not even retraced all the way to the POC. Um, pretty even yesterday, you saw a 20-point down move. The POC was at about 58, I think. Didn't quite get it. You saw that we didn't quite fill that gap on the SPX. And speaking of gaps, we're going to actually let's look at what we got on that macro look, and so we can just see how I believe the term is comical the tape is behaving right now. So all those three dotted lines that you're seeing there represent gaps. So right now that 408 number is kind of that upside gap we're looking at in SPY, and we did not quite fill. So I'm going to pull up that tools window again, and we can just see how close we came on the SPY yesterday. So yesterday's low was 401.76 on the SPY, and that gap is at 401.60. So we missed that gap by 16 cents on the SPY. So that one's still hanging out there. And now we're looking at this gap, if you want a specific number, at 408.14-ish, or not ish, 408.14 on the SPY. And yeah, I mean, we are just in a panic buying mode. We haven't seen any retrace at all of that move from, I guess, that fake break near 4,000 earlier in the week. And we've only seen a modest retracement of that move from the low of last week. So yeah, really crazy up move. I know that April is seasonally bullish, so the bears better do something and fast, especially as and we'll see here in a second as we look at volatility. There just really isn't a reason to sell this, at least big picture. Intraday, we will look for those scalps, inside value, and I will keep playing the same thing. So what I'm looking at today, I'm talking about a chart that we're not even looking at. What I'm looking at here is this is obviously the strong uptrend. I don't even know whatever triangle or wedge you want to call that. That's kind of what we're looking at for that intraday structure, and what I'm looking at, and you can see what I mean by the value area just keeps moving. I want to see that fake break pop back in, and I will target this zone here for that first runner, and then I'll let it ride in case they want to have some fun later in the session. But yeah, you can see everything's looking bullish. I'm looking to short. I'm not going to play this breakout play just because even if it works, um, we are in La La Land. I do not like the risk reward, and if I don't get a trade or I lose money, otherwise that's okay. I cannot be on the team bull after 100 points without a downtick. So that's the execution chart. That's what I'm talking about. And if we go back to the macro look here, you can kind of see we're above all the major SMAs. We're nearing that gap, and again, that gap corresponds to the underside of that October 13th, the trend line from that October 13th low. So I just kind of have this area circled because really what I think initiated just the extreme aggression that we're seeing with this move is the fact that we gapped above that trend line on what was that, Wednesday. So we gapped above the trend line just kind of from the March February sell off, and So now we're kind of off to the races, and I think we really are going to target at 408. Do we get there today? I don't know yet. As we're going to see in the TPO here, I'm going to go right to it. The structure of this move right now and really the structure of this market is so emotional, and we can go ahead and actually change this to green, which I haven't done yet. Is so emotional, and that's denoted by all the horizontal yellow lines you're seeing there, all those singles. Lots of emotion in this move. That's kind of the theme, I think, is it's super ugly. There's a lot of structure I think that needs to be cleaned up. When, I do not know. Let's merge that. Um, when, I do not know, yet we have some nice vantage points to look for. So I think this poor high and naked POC above does correspond near that 408 SPY gap. So we'll be watching that, or I'll be watching that super closely. If we do continue this up move today, and then the downside, the immediate levels are 40.86, 48,650, which is right above that first POC. So I think we'll probably get a little follow through into that. Maybe as far down as near that poor low. Hey, you know what? Maybe the bears are gonna get crazy. Maybe they'll take out that poor low, and then if they do that, you have this still strong support, which again we didn't even touch yesterday, which I found pretty interesting. That single at about 62 and that naked POC at 57. Really, I think these are the major supports for today. If we get much below 57, I will be shocked, as painful as that is to say. Let me move this up here a little bit. But just for the sake of argument, if they do pop into there, you can see from really 4,005, we'll say that psychologically important 4,000 number, all the way up to 4040 to me is strong potential demand. And if you look at it again, I'm going to flash the execution chart as we continue our rally. The value area low is right near there for the excuse me, for the distribution that extends from that low that we placed earlier in the week. That's kind of the low of that value as well. So not really looking for a crash, to say the least, based on what the tape is showing us today. And we'll see if we continue this breakout or what happens relative to that. So just going to show you one more thing. Again, not really too much to bloviate on today, given the extremely tight IBR and given the fact that we haven't really had a downtick. So, one thing I'm gonna bring up, which I thought was a good point by my friend Tim Knight, it was the news this morning was extremely bullish. So no matter how you interpret it, it was a really, I think he described it as a rally served up on a silver platter to the bulls. So obviously it's potentially that was already built in, depending on if you believe that the various economic numbers are truly a shock to anyone, any of the big boys, any of the big institutions. Yet still, we're only up on the SPX. What are we up? We're only up about 24. So again, it's potentially just already built in. But I thought that was interesting and maybe a mulligan to the Bulls, as Mr. Juiceball, the golfer, might say, or to the Bears rather. So, take a look at volatility again. Nothing going on here as far as I'm concerned. I just drew these trend lines in a straight downtrend. We're just losing levels left and right. I don't find the VX chart to be particularly useful or informative at all right now. I think that it's just all about that price action, those trend lines, and the assumption that as long as VIX stays below 20, VIX stays below 20, it's at 1870 right now, so losing even more ground today. We got to assume that 2022 bear market was cyclical, and we'll be looking for probably higher numbers until something changes. So on this chart, again, I don't really think there's much to talk about. It's just going to keep losing levels really until we start to get above. You can draw any trend line you want. I just happen to draw that channel really until we start making a move above that. And again, that 2180 number, 2170 number rather, that I was talking about yesterday. I think that uh, we have to not get too excited about any down moves. So we'll trade it as whatever your system is. Stay mechanical about it. But in terms of those swing shorts, I just don't see a reason to get involved in those right now unless you want to try to catch a rising knife, if that's a term. So yeah. So just to go back real quick to the execution or to the warm up rather, where's that? I am going to fill out these levels here, and I will keep them updated intraday. I'll get that newsletter sent out as we continue to break out higher here. And yeah, that's all. So if you want to come hang out on Twitch, I'm going to do a DJ set probably from like noon to 1. It's usually noon to 2. Yet, if I don't have a trade on by noon, I do not take a trade on the day, so I don't really want to do a 2 hour set when I could go do some chores. So we'll be doing that 1 hour set for the one of you who likes to hang out and listen to my rough transitions on those DJ sets. So besides that, please feel free to tweet at Routine Trader with your thoughts. Like I said, new letters coming out, so subscribers can respond to that, and anyone can respond in the comment section of this video. Criticisms, concerns, uh, lamentations of our lovely 5 point IBR today, and anything else that you want to talk about. So links to everything is also in the description of this video, as I said a little earlier. So if you did enjoy today's content, although I don't think it was particularly useful, given that nothing's really going on, but hey, if you enjoyed it, I still appreciate that like. That helps with the YouTube algorithm. And if you have any set recommendations, besides Warren G's Regulate as well, I will take those. I'm going to start throwing on some music, I guess, for the live trading portion of these briefings, just to hopefully not scare too many of you away, but maybe fill the silence and give you some nice vibes to start your trading day. So that's all I have for you. Thanks for hanging out. Stay classy, and talk to you on Monday.